Welcome to the Shrimp Shooter YouTube channel, where today I'm going to talk to you guys about how to conceal carry in almost any state. Now guys, let me start off by saying I'm not a lawyer, I'm not some sort of counselor, therapist, financial advisor, so I'm not giving you any legal advice whatsoever on how to do things. That's why I'm going to give you an honorable mention step on what to do before you even consider concealed carrying. Now guys, before you even think about concealed carrying, make sure you guys do your research. It's as simple as that. You check your local, state, and federal laws, making sure you know what you're getting yourself into in terms of like the financial aspect, the money, or even considering that you're putting yourself on the line in these situations. Is that something you're going to be willing to do if the moment comes? But with that said, I want to make it plain and simple and easy for you guys, so that way you guys know how to conceal carry in your own state. With that said, there's going to be like a generalization, so again, just a reminder, make sure you check your state, local, and federal laws. Now the first thing you're going to want to do once you check your local, state, and federal laws is to go ahead and go get your concealed carry weapons permit. I know some people might argue like, oh, you should look into getting a gun first, but if you're already decided on concealed carry, well, then I think the gun aspect should come later, because in Washington, there's like a 30-day, 60-day waiting period on getting your actual license beforehand. So go to your local county sheriff office, go to your police station, and just ask them, oh, I want to get my concealed carry permit. They'll be able to help you, no problem. And it's going to cost you about some money, some change, and it's going to vary according to each state, obviously. But the reason why I say you want to get your concealed carry permit first before the gun, if you haven't had one already, is because during that waiting period, you're going to have time to get a weapon. You can use this time to get ready, train, find the gun that you want. That way, by the time you get your concealed carry permit, you're already confident and ready to use those skills that you learned from that time waiting. Now coming at step number 2, you're going to want to figure out what type of concealed carrying you want to do. What I mean by that is like, this holster is my own, and it is a front appendix carry, meaning obviously I carry it in the front, or you can do the option of carrying on the side, or you could carry on the back, which I personally don't recommend. There's going to be different types of preferences on what people think is best and what people think isn't best, because at the same time, me personally, I think it's better to appendix carry, but some people may not feel comfortable about the barrel pointing in a certain direction. Now the second step on what you want to do is you want to make sure that you look for the perfect handgun for you. Now again, if you're confused about what kind of handgun I should get or what you should get, you want to look at this video above. I think it's this corner or this corner. But then pretty much trying to find the perfect gun for you is going to come down to pretty much just 3 options. You got option A, which is having a friend, family member who they have guns, and you ask them to shoot those guns or go with. Now B, you got shooting ranges that you could go to, so that way you know what kind of gun you want to shoot. You could look for SIG, you could look for CZ, you could look for a H&K, the list goes on and on. But the main point here is like, you want to make sure you know what you're looking for, what's going to be a great concealed carry gun for you, not for other people, but for yourself. Because guns are kind of like shoes, ones might fit someone else, but they're not going to feel comfortable or even fit the other person at all. And then you got option C, which I personally wouldn't recommend, because you don't really get to shoot or really feel a gun, and that's going to be going to a gun store. Not necessarily a shooting range, but they're going to be able to let you hold the gun. Sometimes they got a trigger block, so you can't really shoot the trigger unless you ask them, but they should be able to help you out with that. I always recommend these options in that specific order first, just so that way if you go to a gun store and you can only feel the gun but you can't shoot it, you may not like how it shoots. Like if you want a 45 instead of a 9mm, like you might like the way the gun feels, but because it's 45, it feels very uncomfortable and you may not like it. So again, everything that you want to look for in a handgun is going to be up here in this video, but just making sure you do your own research as well as to what fits you and what you think is going to be best for yourself. Now step number 3, you're going to want to find a holster that's perfect for you. Now this one could vary, because I know there's some bigger size people out there, there's some skinnier people out there, there's like all kind of different holsters now, and it can be very complex and a confusing system. And although there's not really like a right answer or a wrong answer, there is going to be the option of like, you don't want to go too cheap, but you also don't want to go too expensive. Those holsters are going to usually range from like 40 to $100. But you can still, that's not to say you can't find a good holster that's cheap, that's perfect for your gun, or an expensive holster that's just not going to fit your gun at all. And I am running a We the People holster with an alias holster system. Now this fits perfect for me because I preferably like this, because I don't need to wear a belt all the time. And whether you want a belt or not is going to depend up to you. But me personally, I love this alias system because I could just clip it on right away. So yes, there's a lot of various options out there. Again, it's just finding what's best for you and doing your own research in this kind of thing. Now coming at step number 4, what you're going to want to do is might sound counterintuitive, but it's actually good for you, and that is hit the shooting range. And that is do not carry at all with this handgun. This is your first time carrying, this is your first time holding something, a lethal weapon, where depending on how much research you did, you may or may not have a full grasp of what you are doing. But with that said, after you get your handgun, you have your concealed carry permit, you want to get your reps in, you want to get bullets down range, you want to practice as much as you can. And that doesn't just mean shooting the basic drills at the range where you just point, shoot, and okay, no, that means you gotta work on groupings, you gotta work on your grip, probably just right-handed shooting, left-handed shooting, long distance, short distance, time draws. There's a lot of drills where you could be practicing, and you're gonna wanna do this first, because if you're not gonna go and carry a handgun with skills you have set in place, how are you gonna be able to defend you or others if you don't have the skill that it takes to even do that to begin with? And yeah, some people are probably saying like, oh, you already got your conceal, you got your weapon, you might as well carry, right? Well, not really, because if you're just holding a gun, you're not confident, you don't know what to do with it, you're not smart. You could just be doing more harm than good, because you want to build that confidence, you want to build that skill set, so that way you have the confidence and the ability to carry and to protect not only yourself but others as well. And I'll link a couple of YouTube channels below too, so that way you could do more research and what I think helped me the most when I was starting to conceal carrying. I know it's kind of like a general like kind of list. I know every state's different, every state's kind of like they have this, they don't have that. But anyways guys, thanks for watching. I hope this helps out a lot of you guys who are deciding whether to carry, not carry. But with that said, make sure you subscribe, you like this video, and you leave a comment down below on how I did. Did I miss some points? Did I just didn't make a good point at all? Just let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you guys want to see. But with that said, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.